Of the 8th meeting of House State Government Committee. I want to remind everybody to silence their cell phones, and nobody's online, so I don't have to tell them to mute, but if you're here, just silence your cell phones. Anybody who wishes to speak should have signed up, so sign up at the desk if you wish to speak on any matter. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Decker.
Present.
Representative Duplessis.
Here.
Representative Flood. Representative Graham. Representative Heath.
Here.
Representative Heverin.
Here.
Representative Johnson.
Here. She sounds younger every day.
Representative Maddox. Representative Mentor. Representative Nemes. Representative Smith. Here. Representative Stevenson. Representative Tate. Representative Tipton.
Here.
Representative Upchurch.
Present.
Representative Wheatley.
Here.
Representative Bowling.
Here in the room.
Representative Bratcher.
Here.
And Representative Miller.
Here. We have a quorum and are duly constituted to meet. I'm going to ask Representative Heverin if she'd like to introduce her guest.
I would. Thank you so much, Chairman. Today I have Emma Watts. She's my personal page for the day and on the floor this afternoon. Emma Watts is a fourth grader here in Frankfort at Good Shepherd. Right. Good Shepherd? Yeah. And she is the daughter of Ryan and Ashley Watts. So super excited to have her here today with me.
Very good. Make her feel welcome, everyone. Love the green. Love the green outfit. First item on the agenda is Senate Bill 88, sponsored by President Pro Tem Givens. So welcome, Senator, and tell us what we need to know about your bill.
Well, Mr. Chairman, thank you for the welcome, and members of the committee, thanks for the chance to present Senate Bill 88 for your consideration. This is legislation that I had before your committee last year, and it passed successfully, so it's not new to you. This is companion legislation to the Speaker's constitutional amendment last year in House Bill 4, and this provides some framework as we have voters going to the polls in November to take a look at the constitutional amendment. I said last year, and I'll say again, in my time in the legislature, the work I've had the chance to do on this legislation in companion with the Speaker's constitutional amendment may be the most impactful legislation that I've ever done. I stated then that this gives us the ability, as you recall, the constitutional amendment gives us the ability to call ourselves back into special session by joint proclamation of the Speaker and the President. In doing so, that, in my mind, alleviates a lot of the need for the legislation that we did last year that was prospective legislation. Legislation like Senate Bill 1, Senate Bill 2, and House Bill 1 that was all trying to appropriately constrain the executive administration around emergencies. If we had have had the ability to come back and respond to the requests of our constituents, we could have done so and avoided legislation that we sometimes just don't know the unintended consequences of. I'll be glad to go thoroughly through the bill with you, but I'm going to pause at this point, Chairman, and welcome any questions and respond to those.
Motion on the bill.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the bill. Do we have any questions? Representative Wheatley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Senator, for bringing this again. This is the way we should do any constraints on the governor. I'm one of the few on my party who supported the Speaker's amendment, or to place that amendment on. So I do support it. There might be some finer details in there that we could go through, but for now, I just want to say thank you for bringing it and support. Thank you.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, Madam Secretary. Oh, we do have a question. Representative Duplessis.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Miller. Senator, just to
The
be
standard
clear,
here is a little higher than what we have in the Senate. I'm enjoying this.
Senator, just to be clear, if we're in a 60-day session and we use all 60 days ahead of April 15th, can the House and Senate still call themselves back in October? Am I thinking wrong?
Say this again. So we've gone through 60 and we haven't adjourned.
And we have adjourned.
We have adjourned, correct? Okay,
We've
so
used
that's a separate 60. That's our normal
So this
long session.
this will be additional days.
This will be an additional 12 days, and very prescriptively 12 in order to do the 5 and 1 and the 5 and 1 if we need. That's
okay.
correct.
Thank you.
And they have to be used in 3-week period, correct?
They have to be used in a 3-week period. We've added that limiter in here so that we don't get involved in a long, drawn-out, hey, let's come in for 1 day and then wait a week and meet another day and wait a week and
Right.
meet another day. That's correct.
Very good. Representative Nemus, did you have a question?
Yes, sir. Leader, I look at y'all's agenda, and I see a lot of House bills that are just sitting. I wonder if we're going to move this out. Can we get some more House bills through the Senate floor?
I just
Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Excellent question. I just came
Impertinent.
from joint leadership where they said that there's going to be a long day on both floors.
You know I'm joking. Thank you,
I
Chairman.
do.
Thank you.
Yes, Representative Smith.
Is there, and it may be in there, and I apologize if I haven't seen it. Is it similar to the governor calling a special session? It has to be a certain agenda, is this an emergency status to call in, or is it an open forum, but you come with a specific issue?
It is an open forum.
Okay.
It is an open forum. The governor's ability to call us around a limited range of issues. And it's an open forum for a very specific reason. As much respect as I have for our leaders shouldn't be able to dictate what we do once we're in session. We are all equally powerful once we're here, and that should still be the way it should be. So that also is, in my mind, a pressure valve constraining our leaders to want to call us back because, as all of you know, there's lots of legislation and lots of pressures on leadership to move things. So if leaders know that when they come back, it is the same authority for everybody to file legislation and move things, there won't be a great desire to come back unless the need is very real.
Okay. And we'll follow up, Mr. Chairman. So if it falls into a budgetary issue, again, does it then takes the 2/3?
That's correct. Same constraints we always have.
So we're still under the same rules. It's just that this gives us the ability for leadership to call us in.
That's
That's
correct.
all it does, basically.
A joint proclamation of the two. That's right.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, are there any other questions? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bowling,
Yes.
Representative Bratcher,
Yes.
Representative Decker,
Yes.
Representative Duplessis,
Yes.
Representative Flood.
Pass.
Thank you. Representative Graham, Representative Heath,
Yes.
Representative Heverin,
Yes.
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative Maddox,
Yes.
Representative Mentor,
Yes for today. I still have a few questions about it, but I'll get with you about that.
Yes.
Representative Nemus,
Yes.
Representative Smith, Representative Stevenson, Representative Tate, Representative Tipton,
Yes.
Representative Upchurch.
Yes.
And I vote yes.
I'm sorry. Representative Wheatley,
Yes.
was that a yes?
That was a yes.
Representative Miller.
Yes. Motion passes with favorable expression. Same two shall pass on the floor. Thank you, Leader. President
thank you.
Pro Tem Givens.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Chairman.
much.
Thank you, members of the committee. I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is Senate Bill 32, sponsored by Senator Higdon. Seeing no Senator Higdon, I'll ask Bo if you would come to the fore. And this is a housekeeping bill, and no projected actuarial cost is reflected by the actuarial analysis provided. So, Bo,
Yes.
introduce yourself formally and.
My name is Bo Craycraft. I'm the Executive Director of Judicial Forum Retirement. I appreciate the time and opportunity to be here this morning on behalf of Senator Higdon. This is a housekeeping measure This is actually largely a bill that was initiated by my predecessor, the late Donna Early Stockton. Unfortunately, with her passing, and we weren't able to get across the finish line, and so I'm here trying to carry that. This
Motion on the bill.
We have a motion and a second on the bill. I have a question, Bo.
Absolutely.
Do you miss us?
I do. I
Okay.
do. And I will definitely miss you. As I told you yesterday, I appreciate
thank you.
Appreciate all your time and support on pensions.
Thank you. Any questions on the housekeeping measure? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bowling? Yes. Representative Bratcher?
Yes.
Representative Decker?
Yes.
Representative Duplessis?
Yes.
Representative Flood?
Yes.
Thank you. Representative Graham?
Yes.
Representative Heath?
Yes.
Representative Heverin?
Yes.
Representative Johnson?
Yes.
Representative Maddox?
Yes.
Representative Mentor?
Yes.
Representative Nemus?
Yes.
Representative Smith? Yes. Representative Stevenson? Yes. Representative Tate? Representative Tipton? Yes. Representative Upchurch?
Yes.
Representative Wheatley?
Yes.
Representative Miller?
Yes. Yes, and matter passes with favorable expression. Same too shall pass on the floor. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
And we will move past one bill and go to 668, sponsored by Representative Duplessis, and we have a committee sub on that. We have a motion on the
Second.
sub. Is there a second? Oh, we have a second. And all in favor of accepting the sub, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Sub is before us. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The purpose of 668 at our last PPOB meeting, there was some discussions between KPPA and the CHMCs and the universities regarding I think it was Section 7 of House Bill 8 from last year, where we put in the requirement to get employment for these systems from 60% to 80%, and the fear of losing their subsidies if they didn't meet those triggers. And the point of issue that came up at PPOB is that there was a disagreement as to how to determine what the starting point was for those contract employees that were no longer in the system. So we had asked them to work it out, to get together and work it out, and they did so, but they got back to us saying in order to do what they needed to do, they needed some statutory change. And so when that happened, we filed a placeholder bill several weeks ago when we still had time to do so as the systems and KPPA and the stakeholders worked things out. So we got that done this week, and before you is that bill, and I can go through it if you like. But basically, what it says is, for the point of receiving a subsidy and going from 60% to 80% and what have you, that will be based on employees that were working July 1st, 2021, and not going back to 1950 for the sake of the subsidy.
Motion on the bill.
We do have a motion on the bill. Questions? Thank you, Representative Tipton. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Representative Plessy, for allowing me to work with you on this legislation. And I just want to ask one question because I think it's an important point that I want everybody to understand. We did put the July 1, 2021 in for the purpose of a subsidy. Existing state law allows the systems to go back and do audits. Could you explain a little bit about the changes we made to that legislation, and in particular what would happen if an employer did not cooperate with KPPA on the audits?
Yes, sir. So what we're told, and and none of the universities had done this, but we had been told that some of the organizations, when had been requested an audit to be done by KPPA, the doors were shut and they weren't allowed in. Obviously, that's not acceptable. There's nothing in the statute that says they can do that, but there's also nothing in statute that has any penalty or any teeth to it. So what we said for that, because the systems need to be able to audit, the retirement systems need to be able to audit what's going on. So what we've said is if anybody is turned away, that entity will lose their subsidy until the issue is rectified. So that gives some teeth to the KPPA to be able to get the audits that they need to make sure that their books are done properly. We also put some language in there because there was some discussion from the organizations that they didn't get data from KPPA as fast as they would like to be. So we put in there that they need to have their data responded back to them within 90 days, and it needs to be data that is able to help them see who's on their books and what kind of numbers and financial numbers are coming from them. So that's all in this bill. And all the systems have looked at it and agreed to it. Well, I shouldn't say all. The lobbyists for CHMC, so they're good with the Western Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky, Moorhead. I'm trying to think who else has gotten back to me. They're all for this bill, and nobody has contacted me to be against it. So,
excellent.
Did that answer your question, Representative? Yeah.
Very good. Does anyone else have a question? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bowling.
He's out. He walked out.
Representative Bratcher.
Yes.
Representative Decker.
Yes.
Representative Duplessis.
Yeah.
Representative Flood.
Pass.
Oh, thank you. That was a pass.
That was a pass.
Representative Graham. Representative Heath.
Yes.
Representative Heverin.
Yes.
Yes.
Representative Johnson.
Yes.
Representative Maddox.
Yes.
Representative Mentor.
Yes.
Representative Nemus.
May I briefly explain, Mr. Chairman?
You may.
There are a few people that come through the General Assembly who have left a big mark. We have Senator Bowen, who died this week, who left a tremendous mark on pensions. We have two gentlemen in this room today that I think this might be their last committee meeting on pensions, and that's Representative Duplessis and Chairman Miller. I don't want to let this moment go by without giving a tremendous, very heartfelt thank you to the two of you for the work that you've done on behalf of the people of Kentucky in my district and all across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So thank you very much, and I'll be a yes.
You vote.
That was a yes.
Thank you. Representative Bowling.
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Smith.
Can I explain my vote, Chairman?
Yes, you may.
It is a yes, and I wish I did understand a lot of the dynamics of our pension. When I read a few weeks ago that we lost money in a Russian bank, it bothered me. And maybe it didn't affect others, but it affected me because I'm wondering, I know it's a blind type deal. A lot of the investments are a blind type deal. And they're also that way to my understanding to legislators, but where we can't really dig in and find a lot of things. So we put a lot of trust in people, and I appreciate your work on it. And I'm hoping that our pensions can keep getting stronger, better, so our tax dollars can be used for other things rather than healing up bad investments, healing up faulty determinations. And so I appreciate you, Representative, for what you've done.
That's a yes.
That was a yes.
Representative Tate. Representative Tipton.
Yes.
Representative Upchurch.
Yes.
Representative Wheatley.
Yes.
Representative Miller.
Yes. Matter passes with favorable expression. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh. Excuse us.
I've got you down as a yes. Okay.
There is a title amendment. If anybody would like to make a motion, we have a motion and a second on the title. Representative Heath seconded to that. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. And that has passed.
Mr. Chairman.
Now, thank you. And Representative Massey.
Motion on the sub.
This is on House Bill 678, and we have a motion on the sub. Do we have a second? Second. We have a second. All in favor of accepting the sub signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The sub is before us. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
And introduce your wingmen.
Okay, I'm Ed Massey, District 66, Boone County. With me, I have Senator Howell, Senator Storm, and Eric Kennedy from KSBA.
Very good. Begin.
We had put together a work group to deal with school construction issues that have been notorious. The biggest problem is that with waivers being required, school districts were waiting months upon months for waivers. With the fluctuation in prices of materials, it was costing these districts literally millions of dollars. In one case, we had a district that cost them $10 million waiting on a waiver. In another case, the school that had the bonding capacity to build a middle school, based on waiting for a waiver, they lost, because the prices went up, they lost their ability to bond enough money to build the school. So we sat down with many of the district administrators. We had KASA represented, KASS, KSBA, the School Facilities Construction Commission, and lastly, we also brought in KDE. And KDE admitted there was some issues resolving these waiver issues, and they're trying to resolve it, but they said they only had about 2 hours a week to work on trying to renew their manuals and go through all of those processes. So through that collective group of about 18 to 20 people, we set about to create some language that would assist school districts immediately to allow these projects to go on unimpeded, especially given the cost of materials and supplies. We used a shell bill, obviously, which is why there's a title amendment, and it says it's an act related to juvenile justice. It's not an act related to juvenile justice. It's an act related to school construction. And with me here that have worked along with the group, and I'll give them a brief moment to make a couple of statements, are the senators and Eric Kennedy. So I'm going to turn over to them. I'll start with Senator Howell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I just wanted to say real briefly how much I appreciate the effort that everybody's put into this. In my prior life, before I came to the Senate, I was on the school board and went through a school construction project. And there are some areas we really need to take a hard look at on how we build our school facilities. I was really encouraged that KDE embraced what we were trying to do here. I'll save the rest of my time answering any questions anyone might have.
Thank you, Committee and Chairman. All I would like to say is that one of my counties was impacted by exactly what Representative Massey said about this delay costing them the ability to build a middle school. So I do appreciate all the work that's gone into this and appreciate your time.
Good.
And I'll just very briefly say, again, thank you for allowing this to come to the committee today. I just cannot tell you how much this will impact saving time and money and work, not for KDE as well as school districts, where by the time we leave this meeting, prices will have increased in a way that might impact some projects that are pending.
We have a motion on the amended bill and a second. We have a question. Representative Heverin.
Okay, we have my page actually has a question for Mr. Kennedy, if that's okay.
We'll make special exception.
Thank you.
Is it on? Do you consider this bill a good bill?
Yes, this is the best bill that you have considered so far this session.
Thank you.
Very good. And that's the truth.
Real quickly, Mr. Chairman, what this bill, in quick sum, it's a notwithstanding language to free the school districts up from the waivers for the next budget cycle.
And it is non-codified language.
That's correct.
Right. Any other questions? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bowling? Yes. Representative Bratcher?
Yes.
Representative Decker?
Yes.
Representative Duplessis?
To quickly explain my vote, I'm a yes, and I want to thank you for working with my superintendent, Terry Morgan, on this legislation. She praised the committee's work, not this committee, your committee's work, on having all the stakeholders involved and getting input from lots of people. So job well done. I'm a hearty yes.
Representative Flood?
Chairman, brief comment.
Yes, you may.
I vote yes. Thank you, sir. I vote yes this morning and wanted to say to my colleague, I appreciated the call
given the late hour of the mule and the new bill, that gave me time to integrate what we were voting on. I really appreciated that, and I vote yes.
Representative Graham,
Yes. Yes.
Representative Heath,
Yes.
Representative Heverin,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative Maddox,
Yes.
Representative Mentor,
Briefly explain my yes vote. It's a great bill, and I'm so glad that all the stakeholders have been able to come together and get this done. I'd love to see this kind of work. Thank you.
Representative Nemes,
Yes.
Representative Smith, Representative Stevenson,
Yes.
Representative Tate, Representative Tipton,
Yes.
Representative Upchurch,
Yes.
Representative Wheatley,
Yes, briefly explain, spoke with my superintendent from Ludlow High School, Ludlow Schools, and he enthusiastically supports this. Brief comment on this being the best bill of the session. My colleague said it is a very low bar, but yes.
Representative Miller,
Yes, matter passes with favorable expression. Do I have a motion on the title amendment?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor by signify by saying aye. Opposed, like sign. That has title amendment has passed and is adopted. So no other business to come before the matter,
Mr. Chair.
before the committee. Representative Graham.
If I could, please, I'd like to record a yes for Senate Bill 32, a yes for House Bill 668, and thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Mr. Chair? Are we not hearing Representative Upchurch's bill today?
No, we're.
The sponsor
necessary.
asked that it be passed over.
Okay, cool.
But thank you
We're
for
looking out for you.
Thank you for looking
I'm glad
out
someone
for
is.
Thank you, Mr.
Representative
Chair,
from
members of the
Wayne.
committee.
So
Thank you.
very good. Seeing no other